So here we have the next BCM Replacer video. As I mentioned before I went on holiday, I was going to run a stock BCM in conjunction with the BCM Replacer prototype so that I could see how they were interacting and how the stock BCM was thinking about the pack compared to what the BCM Replacer was thinking about the pack. So you can see here we've got two stacked BCMs. So I've split the high voltage harness into two here. So they're both receiving the same voltage. We've got the BCM Replacer on the top, so that's easy for me to get at and program, upgrade its firmware. And then we've got the stock BCM at the bottom. Well, when I say stock, it's slightly modified. It's standard current, but it has a logging output port, and also it will connect to a BCM gauge, which will sit on the dashboard, so that will show me what the stock BCM is thinking about the pack. The stock BCM won't be connected to the MCM, so the data that comes out of the stock BCM will just go to the BCM gauge so I can see what's happening. I can also log it if I want to. So you'll also see here on this is a modified battery here. So I've modified it so we've got two voltage harnesses, as you can see here. We've also got two sets of temperature sensors here, and these are taped to the cells in identical positions, so hopefully they should read the same temperatures, which will be interesting to see. And the most difficult part of the doubling up of the pack was the double current sensors. By a little bit of dremeling and fiddling around, and I've managed to squeeze the two current sensors side by side here, so that each BCM has its own independent current sensor. I chopped off the little bus bar that goes through there normally and made up a flexible one so that I can connect it. Now it's only got a relatively small eyelet connector there, probably 50 amp or something rated, so I'm not too worried about that because it's not going to be used at huge currents, just normal standard operating currents, so all the connections are very tight. So if I want to take the pack off, the end board off, I have to undo this and then feed the wire back through so I can get to the bolt, which is on this end of the positive end of the pack down there. So that's the two current sensors side by side. Back down again. You saw the 7-inch screen, which I'm going to be using, and the only bit I've got to do now is I've got to go into the car and I've got to split the wiring so that both BCMs are powered when the ignition is on, etc. So that's the only bit I've got to do really now. That's probably going to be tomorrow. So that's where we are, and then that pack can go in the car and I can start comparing the stock BCM versus the BCM Replacer. So for instance, when the stock BCM says, oh, I want to recalibrate now, positive or negative or whatever, then I can make note of that and see what the BCM Replacer is thinking about the pack at the same time, and hopefully get some sort of functionality going which sort of mimics the stock BCM as far as possible, or get it quite close, and then we can vary the software then to suit our battery technology that we want to use. So that's where we are at the minute. This is the modified pack. It's a good pack with good sticks. It has a 200 amp fuse fitted, obviously for overcurrent. I have got a IMAC and PMP MCM in here. This is a standard current one, and the stock BCM and the BCM Replacer are all set for standard current at the moment, but I can change those very easily for plus 30% versions for some later more higher current testing. But that's where we are at the moment.